Hello everybody, so my friend just pre-qualified for $600,000 in Phoenix, Arizona, which is a pretty good price, and he has given me permission to completely roast and toast him on this video. Just kidding. He gave me permission to basically crush his dreams and show him what he should be buying, because right now he has all these ideas of like these really nice houses in nice areas, and he's like, hey, I can make my mom and dad finally love me and be proud of me. I've been there, bro. It's not like Pixar. They don't end up loving you at the end, or they don't end up figuring things out. Anyways, let's not use houses to resolve trauma, okay? Anyways, I want to show him, hey, don't buy this, buy this instead. And I'm going to show it with you guys so you can kind of see, not necessarily a consultation, but see what I would be telling him or what I'm going to tell him. So that way you guys can also learn. Now, please remember, this is all my opinion, so you can take it, leave it. But my opinion is you should take a little bit of everything. Don't just take my word, take someone else's word, get a good idea and make your own conclusion, okay? So anyways, let's get to it. Let's be more realistic about what we should be looking for. So qualified up to $600,000. By the way, they qualified for a lot more, but $600,000 is what made sense for their budget. So it makes decent money. I'm going to have to reach out to them and be like, hey man, are they hiring? Where are you working? I think we're all going to go work for this place. Overall, solid person, has made great life decisions and just in the beginning position, right? And once again, when we get this pre-approval from the lender, we're just like so swept up and we start going on Zillow and Realtor and Truly and we're like, yes, like it's finally gonna happen. You know, I'm gonna be able to get the house of my dreams. And I've said multiple times, people like get pre-qualified and they're like, yeah, let's go get the house of our dreams now. But let's correct that, shall we? Anyway, so looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, specifically works in the downtown area, but wants to be like Tempe, Chandler, Gilbert area, which for those that don't live in the valley, obviously a lot of you guys don't. Basically, it's like more expensive, like out of state traffic went into these areas, so kind of hard. Tempe is where ASU is located, so it's a very much a college town, but very solid cities with a lot of options for them. Up to $600,000, and the houses that were being originally sent to me were like between $550,000 to $600,000. Which, don't get me wrong, I must be the world's worst realtor, because any other realtor would be like, heck, let's go. You know, $550,000 to $600,000 is like what, $15,000 to $17,000 of commission. So I must be the world's realtor to tell him, hey, my brother from another mother, let's not spend so much. But anyways, send me some beautiful houses. You know, Gilbert is the option. Mesa is the really, I don't know about Mesa. I did some data in there in Losing Valley. Anyways, let's not get too much in the weeds here. So a lot of beautiful houses to pick from. And of course, you know, you tell yourself things like, hey, we can find something that's been multiple days in the market. We can try to really talk them down. And you know, you don't spend $600. Now you spend only $580 or $570. It's just, oh, Javier, I can finally get, because he's been fantasizing about like an older remodeled home. Look at, like, this is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like, these are really nice houses. A quarter of an acre, 25 days in the market, $595. Definitely an opportunity to talk them down. And this is very great. But the first thing I'm going to say is let's get your main area and do like a mile radius out of that area. Let's kind of get ourselves away from just focusing on the areas that you like. Let's kind of just stretch it out multiple miles away. What does this do? I mean, obviously you're not going to love every area, but you're just going to potentially open it up, because here's the second thing we're going to do. Try to spend at least half of what you're pre-approved for. This does two things. We could either do the approach I've taught you before, where you can really double up and start paying off your mortgage aggressively, or you can maybe do a 15-year mortgage. A 15-year mortgage is a solid option for people who are not going to try. Listen, our goal is not to be enslaved by the bank and forced to pay interest. And I don't care if you think you can refinance in a year or two. Right now, this is the thought process you need to have. Am I okay with having to spend 30 years with this monthly payment and this interest rate? If the answer is no, then that's the answer you need to have. I don't care if, I'll refinance 2 or 3 years from now. That may be a valid option, but if you're getting yourself in a situation with the hope that it's going to change, something's going to change in the future, avoid it. So if the answer is like, well, it's going to really suck paying all this interest, but I guess I'll be okay with it, then I guess you're fine. But obviously then this is why we have plans to try to knock that interest off. So we're going to go back to the housing search. All right, it's having trouble loading it right now, but there's 978 houses under 600,000. So if we reduce it to $400,000, that goes down to 106. So yeah, not as much to pick from. I'll give you that. So in this case, we don't necessarily have to remove ourselves from just that area. So I was wrong in this situation, but for most people, they won't be able to find in their specific city. They have to go a little further out. So we're under 400,000. And what we're going to do is here in this area where we're going to find something that, that's decent in a decent neighborhood, but we're going to try to find something that's going to be relatively good days on market. Because remember, just because we're looking below our pre-qualification or our number that we can afford doesn't mean that we should still try to not get a deal. Meaning that, a lot of times we do this where we're like, I was expecting to pay this, and now I'm really looking in this price range, so whatever. That's what the Californians did. Sorry, no hate to Californians, but when you guys came in with your cash, you're like, these houses are so cheap, I'll spend $30,000 more, no problem. Now, and look for the situation that we're in right now, right? So we're going to get ourselves something simple, right? But here's one in Tempe. Not bad area. It's an older home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, needs a little work. Yes, it's going to need some love, right? It's going to need some TLC. But think about it like this, okay? If we get ourselves into a mortgage, let's say we wanted to go the original route and get yourself that dream house at $600,000. It's going to be 20% down, term of 30 years. Interest rate right now is like 7.5. You're going to be paying, if you never, once again, let's assume that you're never going to get rid of that interest rate. I know you eventually will, but let's just kind of assume you're going to be paying $728,000 of interest and $1.2 million over the life of the loan. You're going to pay off in 30 years, assuming the tax is $395 and insurance is about $80. Here's the thing. If we go down to 15 years, and the thing is that he told me already he's okay paying with this. Like $3,800, I'll make it work. I'll figure it out. It's more than what they can budget for, but this is the trap that we tell ourselves. Oh, if it's the dream house, we'll make it worth it. We'll figure out a way to make it work. Don't fall for that trap, okay? But anywho, $3,800, that'll work. Okay, let's get a house for $400,000. Let's do a 15-year, which is the interest rate is like 6.5 right now, so it's a point less, $3,130. You said you can pay $38, so $3,130, 15-year mortgage, right? If we were to put, because you're going to pay $38, if we put an additional $500 a month. You can now have this paid off in 12 years, April 2035 instead of 15 years. You can get even excited about it. You're paying $135,000 of, even if you don't do the extra $500, you're still paying $181,000 of interest, which is a lot better than it was before. Let's say you get super pumped about it. You start pouring more money in. Like you can get this paid off about 10 years, a little bit under 10 years. Let's say you double up the payment because I know you make good money. You can get this paid off in 6 years, right? So you can get really pumped up about this, and we can turn our real estate into asset. You can really gamify this. You can figure out a way and get passionate about what's the best way for me to pay off my loan and pay as less interest as possible. It requires you not getting your dream house. It requires you sacrificing a lot of things. It requires you not buying in the best area, but can you imagine in 10 years versus you buy your dream house, which by the way, that's just BS being fed to you by HETV. Dream house, dream home, get rid of that idea, okay? We're human beings, we need shelter. Sometimes we can find shelter that looks really nice. Sometimes we can find shelter that needs work. That's it. There's no dream. There's nothing. Like eventually when you're in a great financial position where you have no debt, you have the job you want, you have a ton of savings, then we can maybe work towards, hey, let's go buy overpriced real estate. Yeah, go buy yourself a mansion, do whatever. That's fine. Down the road, go for it. But it's not something we should rush into. That should be something that we work towards. So listen, whether you're my friend or not, I say this with love. I know the area well, so I can tell you there's some areas we could explore. I know here, this freeway here is newer-ish. So all this area here is ripe real estate, right? So work here, the freeway connects it. You can get yourself something probably nicer or newer or whatever, right? So explore the outskirts. In this case, we didn't really have to. There's enough that popped up in there. Just so you know, like me personally, I would explore the outskirts as well because I know the area, but I don't know your area, so do your research. But either way, that's what the thing I got to tell them. So don't buy houses like this. Beautiful house. Great. Amazing. Don't buy houses like this, $610,000. You can make it work. You can probably buy it. You can qualify for it. Give yourself a pat on the back. But think about your future self. And things are going great now, but what if they don't? Life goes, there's ups and downs. And whenever we're going towards something and things are going great, that should be a trigger in your brain to prepare. Not to say to be a doomer and just, oh, things are now going to last great. That's a toxic mentality to have. But consider this. What if things don't continue to be great all the time? Are you you gonna really regret locking yourself into a $650,000 mortgage where your payment's almost $4K because we'll figure it out? No. Maybe if things don't go great for a few months and you're having slow months or whatever, you don't have to put the extra $500 or $1,000 a month. Like, how great would that be? That's the sacrifice you make. But either way, regardless of rates going up or down, that doesn't affect you because you have a game plan to get this place paid off as soon as possible. And even if you don't and it get paid off like in 5 years, you've basically half the mortgage left. Around there. I don't know. I have to look at the numbers. Probably less than half. If, say, you want to get rid of it and move somewhere else, you're going to have a lot more equity there because you've really put a lot of money into it. Now, a lot of people might not agree. They might say, just get the cheapest payment and put the money in the bank and find other investments. Listen, whatever it is, make your own decision, make your own choice. But like I told my friend, don't buy these really nice houses that are your dream houses. Go sacrifice, go live under your means, get yourself something simple. I'm gonna go reach out to my friend now, try to share this video with him and just say, hey, let's go look at some houses that need a little work for $350, $400. We're gonna make sure to do our inspections and make sure we don't buy a money pit. And, we can do all that. That's fine. We're not going to just go buy things blindly. But he may not really like that I'm saying this. And it's up to him to take the advice or not. But I know 5 to 10 years from now, his name is first kid after me. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys watching this. If you guys enjoyed this or you found value in this, please hit comment. Leave a comment below. Like, subscribe. I just hate that I did that. Take care.